Welcome back to another episode with Talking with Leviathan here about stocks and the market or what I think. Once again, this is not financial advice, guys. So I'm talking about today, I'll be talking about HLBZ and GNS, why they doubled pretty much in their price and why it's a good thing, even at its current price right now, for you to join. Because I will read to you guys here first off. So we're going to be reading the HLBZ share price doubles as company investigates short selling. So they're going to they're trying to investigate short selling, and they already hired somebody from the hired somebody to investigate. So that's really good news for the shareholders, and that's really good news for any companies out there that's wanting to look into their status of why their shares are and prices is going from up here all the way to down here and even lower. It's because of naked shorting, and that is illegal. And I don't know why anybody has not enforced this issue. People that have done it, either hedge funds or big companies, or even just a personnel, just doing naked shorting and using the dark pool to be able to pretty much bankrupt a bunch of companies, which they already have. They bankrupt a lot of companies doing this naked shorting and using the dark pool, to where they just keep on doing it and getting a lot of money, and it hasn't caught up to them. And maybe 2023 will be the year to be able to stop all this naked shorting and all this dark pool bullshit, man. It's just not right to be able to just keep doing this, making companies go bankrupt, and you're putting this hard-in cash also from investors like myself, retailers out there, that just all of a sudden just lose all our money. I mean, yes, it's our fault for pursuing our own stuff and what we think and following the hype of certain stocks, but some of those things shouldn't have done what it did, and it is all because of short sellers and the dark pool. So we're going to read this news here on the HLBZ share price doubled as company investigates short selling. And there's two companies that's done it today, and they doubled in their prices today. So shares of HLBZ Inc. more than doubled after the company, which trends electric scooters, bikes, and mopeds, said it is looking to address alleged illegal short selling of its stock. The stock jumped more than 125% to 29 cents a share in morning trading. The stock is still down almost 94% over the past 12 months. HLBZ said it believes that people and/or companies may have engaged in illegal short selling practices that have artificially depressed the stock price. HLBZ said it is following the examples of GNS Group Ltd., which earlier this month said an independent investigation indicated that the certain parties appear to have sold but not delivered a significant amount of the stock of the company. GNS Group said the unfulfilled sales are illegal and appear to be part of market manipulation scheme seeking to artificially depress the price of the securities of the company, citing results from the investigation by Christian Levine Law Group and Warshaw Barston LLP. The recent underperformance of our shares compared to the market is a clear indication of the illegal short selling activities that have taken place. HLBZ Chief Executive Salvatore Palella, I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing these names right, guys, said, these activities have not only affected the value of our stock, but have also forced us to make difficult decisions such as layoffs or, bankruptcy and everybody quits. Yeah, that's one of the news right there of why. So HLBZ share price. This is HLBZ share price, which is HLBZ is a short ticket for that. The IPO was on August 13th, 2021, and they IPO'd at $10 a share. Their high was about $19.48, and their low was 11 cents. I rounded that up to 11 cents. It's 11 cents and 0.5 afterwards on that. But today, their 11 cents of low went all the way up to what, 25 cents or so right now. They doubled in price today on January 20th, 2023. They doubled in price. There was also another news here that I was wanting to read, because there was another stock. Okay, that is so weird. Okay, anyways, there's another company that's following their group. It's called the Genius Group. I will go ahead and search them up here. Sorry, guys. I have the stuff on my paper here, but I have not. I'm using my phone here, my old iPhone. So we're gonna look at the Genius Group. Genius Group stock, which is the short ticker name for that is GNS. So here we are. We're going to go ahead and read Genius Group's why they rallied over 200% today. They IPO'd at April 12th, 2022 at $6. Their high was about $10.68. I seen that I was looking at their chart and their highest looked like it was like $30 or so, but that don't make sense because they IPO'd at $6. Well, anyways, that was on Weibo. And a high of $10.68 and a low of 30 cents and 10. So pretty much 30 cents right there. And today they also doubled in price. So Genius Group stock rallies more than 200% after it appoints former FBI director to investigate alleged naked short selling. Okay, the stock of Singapore-based ED tech and education company called Genius Group Ltd rallied more than 200% on Thursday after it said it appointed a former FBI director to lead a task force investigating alleged illegal trading in a stock that it first disclosed early to January. The stock was last up 264% to mark its biggest ever one-day percentage gain, volume of 197,076. Shares traded crushed a 65-day average of just 634,017. Genius Group, GNS, also said it would issue a special dividend to shareholders to help expose the wrongdoing and is considering a dual listing that would make illegal naked short selling more difficult. The task force will lead by Timothy Murphy, a former deputy director of the FBI, who is also on the board. It will include Richard Berman, also a Genius Group director and a chair of the company's audit committee, and Roger Hamilton, the chief executive officer of Genius Group. The company has been in communication with the government and regulatory authorities and is sharing information with these authorities to assist them. The company said in a statement, Genius Group said it has proof from Warshaw Barstone LLP and the Christian Levine Law Group with tracking from share intel that certain individual and or companies sold but failed to deliver a significant amount of its shares as part of the scheme seeking to artificially depress the stock price. It will now explore legal action and will hold an extraordinary general meeting in the coming weeks to get shareholder approval for its planned action. That's actually going to be really good. That's in the coming weeks, though, so look for that for about, stock is going to go up and down, but in a few weeks or so after we are probably going to approve that, all the stakeholders, the shareholders will probably approve that because they'll get dividends, and plus it'll be harder for people to short naked the stock, the company here in the stock. So that'll be awesome, and it's going to pay dividends. That'll be interesting to see. I'm going to keep my eyes on this one here. Once again, that's the ticker name GNS for the Genius Group. Genius IPO priced at $6 April of 2022, wrote in a blog. The company, which aims to develop an entrepreneur education system, then completed 5 acquisition of education companies to build out its portfolio and reported more than 60% growth in its last earnings report. Analysts at the Diamond Equity assigned it an 11.28 cent stock price target, while Zach assigned it at $19.20 stock price target. Wow, Zach assigned it as $19.20. Woof. By all measures, we believe we were doing all the right things to justify a rising share price, said Hamilton. The company then announced 2 funding rounds totaling $40 million to grow its balance sheet to more than $60 million, yet its stock fell to under 40 cents, or less than 25% of the cash raised and less than 20% of its net asset. This did not happen gradually, the executive wrote. It happened in 2 months. Intervals from our IPO in June, August, October, and December, each time over a period of a few days. Massive selling volume that was a multiple of our float. As most of our shares are on lockup, only around 4 million are tradable. Only 4 million was sold in the market, into the market, making our share price drop by 50% or more. The company has since drawn a West Christian short selling litigator from Christian Levine Law Group, who has helped it understood how naked short selling works, and then share intel helped find the proof that's why That's what has happened to the company. Individuals or groups get together and sell shares in a target company that they don't own with the aim of getting the share price to fall 50% in short period. This uses small cap firms that have low buying volume, allowing them to scare off buyers. The broker doesn't bother to find shares to borrow, said Hamilton. They simply sell shares they don't have and after a few days book them as FTDs, failure to deliver, or hide them as long as sales instead of short sales. The people who bought the shares have no idea they bought a fake share, and suddenly there's plenty more shares in the market than there should be. If these groups sell 6 million shares from 12 to 6 each, and then buy back over 2 months at under 6, they double their money. That allows them to make up to 30 million out of thin air. They can then repeat the whole process a few months later. If they don't buy back all the shares, they simply leave them as FTDs, failure to deliver, or hide them in offshore accounts. He wrote, at no point do they need to put up any cash to make this happen, as they are making money from moments they start selling fake shares. The ultimate goal is to push a company into bankruptcy, which a lot of short sellers and Naked Pool has done that to a lot of companies and stocks out there. By issuing a special dividend, GNS is hoping to find out who is responsible, as all brokers are forced to disclose to the Depository Trust and Clearing Up Corp, or DTCC, how many shares their clients sold and how many dividends will be paid. Theoretically, that should expose the oversold shares, and dishonest brokers will be forced to cover their position, said Hamilton. And that will lead to a short squeeze right there, major squeeze right there, after they ask the shareholders, and the shareholders will, if you guys are truly wanting this, guys, to investigate short sellers, will be able to approve their dividend stocks and for them to investigate. And this is all in the coming weeks, like they said. So they will, that will make it into back to they were, probably back to the estimation where Zach said it was $19.20. So look forward for this stock for it to go up in about a month or so, guys. I mean, if you want to, you can buy some stocks right now. This is not financial advice, like I said before earlier in this video. In practice, dishonest brokers will not declare the fake shares and just pay the dividend out of their own pockets. If you issue a dividend that isn't straight cash, such as a spin-off off of a company, so you are issuing shares, or a blockchain-based asset, then the brokers cannot do that, are a force to either cover or be exposed, he wrote. So they either have to buy the actual value of the share and or cover it. Then the brokers can do that. Let me read that again. If you issue a dividend that isn't straight cash, such as a spin-off of a company, so you are issuing shares, or a blockchain-based asset, then the brokers can't do that. Then the brokers can't do that, are forced to either cover or be exposed, he wrote. So they either have to cover or they're going to get exposed. But with all that said, they can tell how much short sellers in the dark pool has gained and how much shares they have sold. It's just not fair. The market is not fair at all with these short sellers, naked shorters, and the dark pool being used in all these stock markets. And that's how, like a lot of people were saying, that's how AMC and GMC and even NOK and BBY and a bunch of other stocks that they called the meme stocks, because the short sellers, naked shorting, and those people that were using the dark pool were getting ripped off, as in they were losing a lot of money because they were trying to down the stock because they didn't initially own the stock at all, but they said they did. And like they explained, in a few months they can do that, and then in a few months they can come again and buy at a lower price, and that way they don't have to cover what they did a few months ago, and therefore they doubled or tripled what they invested of saying, they're naked shorting. So they end up just getting a lot of money, and they didn't like the getting lost, and they call it the meme stocks because those retailers were actually buying the stock. And there's no way we can manipulate it. I mean, the more buyers you have, the higher the price should be. But at least we own our shares, and we don't naked short and say that we do have it, and they are forced to cover and buy at a higher price. So, instead of them buying lower and they don't have to cover those positions that they said they did, it's just a bunch of BS out there, guys. We do nothing wrong, but these guys have done this for over a decade, for a long time than I've been around, and I'm sure you have been around, and they have not gotten hammered, and they haven't gotten, you know, hammered by the SEC, and they haven't gotten investigated from doing this, and we got so much resources that they can, and they should be able to go to jail and stay there for quite some time. But without further ado, guys, this is tickers HLBZ and ticker GNS. They doubled in price today. They are still penny stocks, but they weren't penny stocks when they IPO'd. HLBZ IPO'd at $10, and they yesterday or a couple days ago they were 11 cents. But now they more than doubled that. They're about 25-30 cents right now, or in the low 20s. And then of course we got the GNS. They're IPO'd at $6, and their low was 30 cents a few days ago, and they more than doubled that today also, or just about. But with that said, guys, this is it for January 20th, 2023 on the Stock News with Leviathan. I am actually pretty hyped talking about this because I like talking about the stock, and this is pretty cool to talk about and write on my sheet right here. And people wanting to investigate their own company because they're afraid, and not afraid because they know that people are doing naked shorting on their stock and manipulating it, not in a legal way, but in an illegal way, and using the dark pool to cover their tracks. That's not good at all. That people are like, I want money too, and I mean, I gotta admit, I have lost quite a bit of my savings and my initial funding on my account, and I mean, I'm not bankrupt or anything on my family, but oh my goodness, man, I've lost so much money betting on a bunch of different stocks, and it's no wonder because all these naked shorting in the dark pools are just pulling money right off of our fingertips. A bunch of companies need to do what these two companies have done and investigate their own company, and because of naked shortings and the dark pool being used. They need to do that, and they're everybody's companies. A bunch of these startup companies, like NKLA is one of them. That's the one I invested a bunch into, and even NOK also, Nokia, and NKLA is that's a startup company of Nikola Corporation that make electric vehicles and soon to be hydrogen vehicles, and then also they're trying to do some hydrogen hubs that they completed a trailer hub so far. But a bunch of companies have gone bankrupt, they're not listed anymore, and a bunch of companies are going up here to down here to way down here. And this year 2023, I hope a lot more companies do an investigation of short sellers in their stock, because you guys are going to make shareholders happy that actually hold your shares, not pretend that they hold it because they're shorting it, and then do a naked shorting and then cover it by the dark pool. So without further ado, drop a like and subscribe if you haven't done so, and we'll catch you on the next video. Peace out.